Are you coming down off the cloud yet?
Yeah.
And what can you see down there below you?
I see me.
Mm-hmm.
And my body is luminescent, like you can see through it, but it's iridescent and all colorful, almost like a bubble. If you were to blow bubbles, how they have all the colors in them.
Okay, yeah. Kind of like a rainbow, but
yeah,
it's
very beautiful. And I reflect anything that I come in contact with and stand in front of. So I'm seeing me standing in front of like a bush that's green. So now I change to the color green.
Oh, really? Like your physical body does?
Yes, and then I like mirror that color within myself.
Oh, that is wonderful.
It was very chameleon-like.
I bet. So are you in this physical body, or are you seeing it from a different perspective?
I'm in it, and it's neat when I look at my hands. They're human hands, but they're not human hands. It's very hard to even explain because they're there, but they're not. I can see right through them.
Okay.
There's nothing. There's no veins. There's no bones.
Oh. Sort of like translucent, like a light body almost.
But there's the same amount of fingers and thumbs. So my whole body looks like my body, but it's completely luminescent.
Wow.
And it just glows and shimmers and shines and reflects and reflects rainbows all over the place.
Really? The rainbows dancing around you?
Yes, it's very pretty.
That must be very beautiful. Tell me, are you wearing anything?
They don't appear to me. And even when I look at other people, they look the same, and they're not wearing clothes either.
Okay.
And it's like we're just our bodies, and everybody's is the same in that it's luminescent, but different people's sort of reflects different colors. So mine more reflects like a whitish, pinkish opalescence, but some people's is more of a bluish or a greenish tinge, some is more yellow. So everybody's is a little bit different, but all the same in that it's luminescent and you can see right through everybody.
What does the different colors represent?
It's kind of where they are in their life at that point, or what their most prominent gift is or purpose is. So, for example, mine is kind of like a whitish pink, which is more about love. But those that are more blue are those that are the communicators. The yellow are more the creator people. The green are more those that are the naturalists, the herbalists, the ones that connect with the plants.
Okay.
So we just sort of know who's who and whose purpose is whose by what color they sort of reflect.
Okay, so it's almost like an aura. Okay, yeah.
And this way, there's no way to hide who you are. Your true essence is visible to everybody.
Oh, wow.
And so everybody's true essence is love, and that's why everybody is translucent, because love is every color.
Yes.
But everybody sort of has a different dominant color that shines through their translucence, which reflects what their main purpose is or what their main gift is in this lifetime at this time.
Wow, that's fascinating.
It's so beautiful. It's like walking in, literally, it's like walking in the land of unicorns. I mean, we're not unicorns, we're still humans with legs, but it's so, I feel like I've been transported to like Candyland. It's beautiful.
Well, why don't you tell me more about where the physical surroundings you're in? Where do you feel like you are?
Everything still looks like Earth, but the same but different, much like the body is the same but different. Everything radiates love and peace, and it just sparkles with life and joy. Like even when I look at a flower, its petals move and dance, and as it moves, it radiates energy that sort of flows out from it.
Mm-hmm.
And every plant and every flower is much like every human in that they all have their different colors for their different purposes. Some radiate yellow for giving off brightness and hope to people. Some radiate blue to help people communicate better, or to help people think differently. So each plant has a higher purpose as well, but they all still have that sort of luminescence and all just a sparkle to them.
Oh, wow.
It's extraordinary. It's hard to even put into words, but it's extraordinarily beautiful.
I can't even imagine that. It must be very beautiful.
It's so, everywhere you look, your eyes are just magnetized because everything dances and sings and radiates the most joyous, powerful light and energy of peace and happiness.
What kind of sounds can you hear? You said singing. Is that?
It's almost like angelic choir music. Like even when the birds sing, they still sing like they do on our current earth.
Yeah.
But it carries differently, and it touches your soul. Like everybody's very aware. Right now when birds sing, most people aren't aware that it touches their soul.
Yeah.
But with this, you feel it in your soul. You feel it in every being, every cell in your body. And it's funny, as I say cell in your body, I can't even see the cells in the body because the body's just sort of clear and it looks empty. But the cells are still there. It's just they're so luminescent that you don't see them as individual cells. But every sound awakens your senses and reminds you that you're all connected, and you feel the connection with every single being, whether it's another human, whether it's an animal, a plant, a cloud, a tree. It doesn't matter what it is, but every sound helps you feel connected. It's exquisite. There's just not words to describe it all.
Holy cow, that's quite amazing.
And it just feels so alive, more alive than I've ever felt before. Just every step, you just feel like you're floating and dancing. You feel so at peace, so genuine. There's no ability to even hide who you are, and you wouldn't want to.
Right.
Everybody's very aware of who they are, what they are, their higher being, their higher self, their soul self. And we all just radiate that. And there's no competition. There's no need to try to be better than somebody else or be different than somebody else or be the same as somebody else.
Right.
Everybody's just themselves, and they honor themselves, and they know their worth and their value, and they know the worth of every other person. So there's nothing on this earth of like stealing or hurting another person or injustice, because we truly know that we're all connected, because we can see it. We can see through every person, literally.
Right.
So we know who we all are. We know who we are, but we know who everybody else is too. And you can feel the connection. For example, when I touch a flower, I become part of the flower. I blend with it, and it blends with me, and I can feel its roots in the earth, and I can feel its music radiate through my body like energy. I can feel its color, even though my color is more of a pink. I can feel, if for example, when I touch a yellow flower, I can feel the vibrance of the yellow go through me. And so as each human, if we need more of a quality that we might be missing or might need to enhance in ourselves to be more balanced, that's all we need to do is reach out to somebody else who has that, or another being, another plant, another animal.
Okay, that makes sense.
So, so alive. Everything is so, so stunningly beautiful.
Sounds like it's a completely different Earth than the one we're used to.
It is, but I feel like that's where we're going. And it's so exciting to be alive here and to feel it and taste it and touch it.
Yeah.
It's like every sense is more alive than you could ever have experienced before, and even new senses that you weren't even aware of in our current world are so alive now. Just your intuition even.
Right.
You know so much just by looking at somebody. You know everything about them. And that's why there is no stealing and no harming, because you would know that. You would feel that in their energy.
Right.
And nobody even wants to do that. That's just so far beneath where we are as a species. There's no bad intent at all. We all desire to live in peace and work together, because we know more than just as a concept that we are connected. We see it, we feel it, much like I described with feeling the connection with a plant.
Yeah.
I can have that same connection with any being, even inanimate objects, what we think are inanimate objects. For example, I touch a fence, and I can feel the tree that made that fence. I can feel the vibrance of that tree when it was growing and standing tall.
Yeah.
And I can feel the life it took in from itself as the sunshine helped it grow and fed it and gave it nutrients. So I become that tree in that moment when I'm touching that fence. When I touch a rock, I can feel every moment that rock has been through, when it was a full mountain before it became just a crumbled piece.
Wow.
I can feel the joy it felt standing tall and standing much higher than we stand as humans. Every single thing that I touch, I become, and I can feel it. So when we feel each other, we know we only want to feel joy. We don't want to feel pain. We don't want to feel mistreatment.
Yeah.
So it doesn't even cross our mind to act out in those ways anymore.
Right. We just want to love and...
Absolutely. We've experienced that in the lower realms of humanity, and now we know we don't need to experience that anymore.
Yeah, it served a purpose at one point, but we're done with that experience, so we're moving towards this every step we take.
Yes.
Wow. Does it feel like it's a far off, distant future you're in, or does it seem closer than we?
That's actually an excellent question, because time is so fluid and really there is no time.
Yeah.
There's no time to put on this.
Right.
It totally depends on the human. There's some humans, quite frankly, that are already experiencing this.
Really?
And that's why New Earth is not a different place. It's not a different place specifically that some are going to go to. It's a different realm of being.
Okay, different realm of being.
So when you are more advanced in your being, you will simply experience more advanced being.
Right.
You will be more advanced. You will be in a more advanced energy. And so there are some already there because they already know some of these truths that I've just shared, that we are connected.
Right.
And they don't just know it in their mind. They know it from deep, complete experience, because they've experienced lifetimes of being what they've called separate. And now they understand that there is no separation. So there are some already living in this realm, but more and more are going to in the next, we'll say coming years, but we don't want to say limit it to a certain number of years, because there's really no definition of how many years. Some it's going to be 1 year, some it's going to be lifetimes of years before they're there.
Yeah, but just each experience is different.
Absolutely. But we will say that this is open to every being on the earth when they are ready and when they choose to step out of duality, step out of drama, and step out of their own disconnection with themselves. The first portal, shall we say, of connecting to this realm is to connect inward, because you can't understand truly that you're connected to another unless you understand that you're connected inwardly to yourself. So the more each individual is connected with themselves, knows themselves deeply, knows their fears, but also knows their deepest worth, their greatest values, knows themselves inside and out, and has embraced their darkness, their light, their good, their bad, their ups, their downs. Those are the ones that will be sooner to experience this new reality. So this new reality is not another place. It is here. It is now.
It's here now.
It's just a matter of stepping into it. And as more and more and more humanity become ready, they will naturally just transition to it. And it'll be little at a time. You'll notice some of humanity is already experiencing themselves feeling crystalline. They look at their hands and they see they have shiny bits on their hands.
Yes,
this is part of the transition. Your bodies are becoming more crystalline. And the more crystalline you become, the more you will transition into this new earth and this new way of living, this new way of being. And the more you can be transparent with everybody in your actions, your feelings, your beliefs, your expressions, your opinions, all of that, the more you will then become transparent in your body.
Oh, okay. That's very good to know.
When you're ready to allow people to see who you are, all of you, the good, the bad, the ugly, every facet of yourself, then you're ready to drop the shell that you all hold, which is your physical body.
Okay,
So when you understand that the body is just a vehicle that houses the soul, you know that the soul doesn't need such a dense body. It can be a much lighter body that is more translucent, more colorful, more bright. It doesn't have to be so heavy, so dense, so thick. So once you're able to drop all of the facade of who you are and no longer hide mostly from yourself, but then from others, your body will transition into this new way where you can't hide anything, because in this new earth there's no hiding from anything, anybody. Everything is seen, everything is known, everything is felt. Most importantly is felt. So it's a very exciting new world that we're going to.
Very promising, especially right now with what, on the surface it looks like is going on. It just seems very chaotic for so many, and this is a very promising perspective to see and to experience.
And the good news is the chaos is part of the transition. You can't transition into peace without releasing the chaos.
Right.
So the chaos must come up and out of your own individual bodies and out of your own planet as well, so that it can be released. And when you release the chaos within your body and the doubts and the fears and the insecurities and all of the things you have going on right now, the injustices and the finger pointing, that all must come out. It's coming out not just in your words, but more importantly, it's coming out of your cells. Your cells are releasing all of those heavy burdens, all of the weight. And what happens when you release the weight is you become lighter, not just physically, but visually. And that is why the body is transitioning into more crystalline, because you're letting go of all those old beliefs. all those old opinions,
Right.
and those old habits and ways of being. So the chaos now is actually a very important part of this whole transition. Some see it as a very negative, downtrodden thing, and they really want to push it all away or deny it or fight against it and cause more chaos.
Yeah.
But really, when you can just honor the chaos and see its bigger purpose,
yeah.
and know that its purpose is to release all the chaos from humanity, from the earth plane itself, from the body itself, from the cells, every aspect of your being must go through this in order for it to be transitioned into the lighter. The dark must be released in order to go to the light.
Right.
And your bodies are going to the light. So the more darkness you can release, the more of the light you will allow to shine into your body. Because you really are light. Every single being, whether you see them as more darkness than you do light.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of how much darkness they're carrying and how much darkness must be released for the light to become shining as to what it really is. But everything is truly made of light. The darkness has just always been there to add the contrast.
Right.
Because as humanity, you weren't able to see your light without the darkness. But there are many of you now that know that you don't need the contrast of darkness anymore.
Right.
You can know yourselves as light beings without embracing darkness.
It's like an experience. We've been there, done that. We don't need to have it anymore.
Very much so.
And there's no way we could possibly go back to that. Correct?
No, absolutely not. Once you become aware, you can't close that back down again.
Right, right. I think that's, some people are afraid that we're going back and we're going to go to war and all this dark stuff some more.
And war might be part of the potential that needs to happen for some of humanity. But again, it's only in order to release the darkness. And if that's how the darkness needs to be released, it's not a bad thing. Humanity likes to judge things as bad or good.
Yes, that is true.
Really, everything serves a purpose. Everything is good when it can be seen from the higher perspective. It's all light. Whether you see it from the dark aspect or you see it from the light aspect, it's really all light. So it's learning to know that no matter what happens, it is all good.
Yes.
And when you can embrace it all outside of yourself, then you can embrace it all within yourself as well.
Right, that makes sense. It's very promising to hear.
It's a very exciting place you are all headed to as your humanity.
Yeah. Can you tell us more about this place that we're going to experience at some point here?
I just feel so much connection, so much. There's nothing I'm not connected to. Even when I walk on the ground, even if it's concrete, I can feel where that concrete came from. I can feel what made it, all the different chemicals and different aspects of it that built that, the rocks that were mixed in with it. I can feel every rock. I can feel everything. It's almost like being in that movie. I forget what it's called right now. But very much where they would connect with an animal to fly with it. They would connect their hair to the animal's tail.
Avatar?
Yes.
Oh, it's like Avatar?
Very, very similar.
Oh, wow.
Like when you step on the ground, it lights up. Because you're connecting with it.
Yeah.
So it is alive, and that's what we as humanity have forgotten, is how much of this earth is alive.
Yeah.
We take it for granted.
Yeah.
Every time you step on the earth, you're connecting with her. And if we did that consciously, we could heal the earth and heal ourselves so much quicker and so much easier. The earth radiates love constantly. It doesn't matter what we do to her. She's much like an animal, how you can sadly abuse an animal, but yet they will still come back and they will still give you love.
Yeah.
That is our Mother Earth.
Mm.
And so every time we step on her, she gives us love. Mm. And that's why earthing is so important, because when we can consciously walk on the ground, whether it's on the grass, in the ocean, on the sand, on the rocks, wherever you're standing physically on the earth, you are receiving her healing, powerful energy, powerful earth, the love, the love that she radiates for us, and that is so very healing. And so in this new earth, we know that, we consciously feel it every single step we take, every time we touch a leaf, a tree, a flower, an animal, a rock. It doesn't matter what it is. We feel that love. We know that we are loved. And every time we touch each other, the love that is in me goes in you, almost like you can see it like a liquid. For example, if I am meeting with somebody that is more radiating and transluting a blue color, when I, for example, give them a hug, we blend together and make a purple. My pink and their blue blend together. So they give me some of their color and I give them some of mine. So we're sharing energy, but that also means we're sharing gifts. So whatever gift you need more of, whatever gift you're wanting to maybe expand on, all you need to do is meet somebody that has that gift. And they can simply touch you and just share that with you.
Connecting with human beings is very important. Right?
Yes, absolutely. And we now understand how well we connect and how important it is to connect.
Yeah.
How important it is to not stay closed up in our houses and not connect with each other. We don't need to connect physically, because of course energy is just matter and it can go anywhere. It can radiate anywhere just by our thought.
Yeah.
But it's even more powerful when we connect physically. So we are more connected than we've ever been in this new earth. And we spend most of our time outdoors.
Okay, yeah. I was wondering what you do in your spare time there.
Everybody has their own purpose. Nobody works per se. There is no money at all.
Okay.
But we all just live by sharing, and also we're natural creators.
Yeah.
We can simply manifest by thinking. Whatever we need, we can, again, because we know we're connected to it all.
Yeah.
So if I need food, I can just think about a tree, and all of a sudden I can have an apple in my hand because I'm connected to that tree. Even if I'm not touching that tree that provides an apple, I know that I'm connected to it.
Wow.
So I know that I can draw from it just by thinking of it. I don't need to be standing beside it.
It's incredible.
It's very incredible. We literally can manifest out of thin air. Because we know that everything exists everywhere all the time.
Right, yes.
There is nothing that does not exist. It's just a matter of thinking it. As soon as you can think it, you know that you can create it. So I can simply hold out my hand and think of a banana, and a banana will be in my hand. The truth is, though, we don't really even need to eat. We can eat if we want to. Some people still really enjoy food.
Yeah, I was curious about this too.
But food is not necessary. It doesn't sustain us anymore because, again, we're connected to everything. So when you're connected, and you know you're connected to the sun, the living essence of everything, you get your energy from the living essence of everything. If I'm feeling a little bit low, all I need to do is go put my hand against a tree, and I get its powerful rooted energy. If I need more lightness, I can go touch a duck and experience their wings and the power that they can have when they're flying. and I can feel more lightness to myself. So whatever it is that I want to experience, I simply need to either think of that or be around it or touch it, and I can then have that. So we don't need to eat, but some people still like to. And I even do at times. I still enjoy, for example, I said bananas. I really like bananas. So.
Okay, so you still eat some fruits and vegetables maybe.
Yeah, but it's not necessary for the existence of my body. My body simply runs on energy, and there isn't a shortage of energy. Mm-hmm. We are all energy, and everything, even the rain radiates energy. Mm-hmm. The raindrops are literally rainbows, right in every drop. You can see every single color of the rainbow in one raindrop.
It must be so beautiful.
It's so beautiful. It's beyond words, beyond description. There's just not enough descriptive words in our human language to even describe the colors. The colors are so alive. Yeah. Just everything radiates. And that's why Avatar is such a good description, because people have that sort of visual of what it's like when the tree is alive and you can feel it and see it. That is very much what it's like here, but even more so than what a movie can depict.
I wonder if Avatar was sort of a foretelling or a prediction.
Most definitely. Yes. There's some very advanced souls on your earth right now that are creating these sort of movies to give humanity some kind of slow shifts and awakening.
Okay.
Just sort of think, if that can happen in an imaginary sense, why can't it happen in true reality?
Right, yeah.
So literally it's planting seeds, and it's funny we're using the word avatar, because if you remember the movie where there's the tree of life and all the seeds that float, that's exactly what that movie's purpose was to do, is plant seeds into people's minds.
Right, okay,
and in their beings, that these things are possible. Some people are already living it, they're already experiencing it.
Wow.
So yes, it's there, it's here.
It's so exciting. I don't really have words for it. I'm just blown away.
And some are drawn. In fact, we'll say the human Angie that you're speaking to.
Yep.
We say that laughingly because she's still human in this higher realm. She's just a lighter human. But right now she is feeling incredibly drawn to anything iridescent. She almost can't stop buying iridescent things. And she's wondering why does she need to fill her house with all of this? And this is why. And there might be many of you right now that are feeling drawn to iridescent or luminescent or rainbow or multicolored.
Me for sure.
It's no coincidence that unicorns have become such a trend in humanity right now, and rainbow colored things. That's because that is where you're going. That is part of what you are all drawn to, because that is who you are.
Right.
It's like your lightness, your color.
We know it deep down, and it's starting to come to the surface.
Yes.
Wow.
So if you're drawn to those things, be around them. Put them in your homes, put them in your cars, put them on your body, wherever you feel called to do it. Because that is a higher guidance guiding you to do so, as that's helping you radiate that from inside outward. That is helping your true essence to come out. And the more you can start radiating that, the more you will then experience that. The more you will experience this new earth of lightness, of joy, of connectiveness, of color, and of full luminescence, where everything has life and sound and radiates with the most beauty you could ever imagine. So what is here is now. Don't be tricked into thinking you have to get somewhere. You simply need to just embrace it.
What are some examples of ways we could embrace it? Like, is there certain foods we could eat more of, or certain things we could do?
Honor your body.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and that it's hard to make a list because everybody's body is different.
Right. Yes.
So if you feel more called to eat light foods, fruits or vegetables, then those are the things for you to eat. Some people feel more called to drink rather than eat, and we don't necessarily even drink alcohol.
Right.
Just for clarity.
Thanks for clarifying
Some
that.
people
That's where my mind went.
More drawn to drinking, whether it's juicing or vegetable juices, fruit juices, apple cider vinegar, all sorts of things like that, kombucha, whatever it is that some are called to do. So it's learning to really honor the body,
right?
Honor what you are feeling called to be drawn to, inhaling or ingesting, drinking. We say inhaling as well because everything that you ingest, whether it's food or drink or inhaling from the air, is creating the new earth within you. So be very aware of what you're inhaling. Be very aware of your environment. Are you inhaling toxins in the air? Are you inhaling cigarette smoke? There's no judgment on any of these. It's just all choice. It's all awareness.
Yeah.
So the more you become aware of what you're putting in your body in every level, not just food, not just air, but even music, even what you watch, even the people you're around, the experience you choose to have, the environments that you're in, the energy that you're in. Are you in an energy of a chaotic store with a bunch of hurried shoppers? Are you in the energy of a serene ocean or beach or mountain or whatever piece of nature that you enjoy? Again, there are no right or wrongs. There is no judgment. It's simply being aware of what makes you feel good, what makes you not feel good. So even foods, being aware of, oh, when I eat that, I feel sluggish, or I feel gassy, or I just don't feel good afterwards. Honor that. If that doesn't make your body feel good, why keep doing it?
It's true, yes.
So all of it is just learning to be more connected with yourself, like we said before. When you learn to connect with yourself is then when you can learn to connect with others. So it's learning first to be connected with what you need, what feels good for you. And that's why there's no one answer, there's no right answer. It's going to be different for every being. Just like in the new earth, every being has different colors.
Yeah.
We're all the same, but we're still all different.
Right.
And it's learning to honor our differences without judging another. So if you only, for example, choose to eat bananas because they make you feel good, but somebody else only wants to eat apples, it's not judging them and saying, wait a second, why aren't you eating bananas? Bananas are what's good for you.
Yeah.
They might go, no, bananas make me feel yucky. I don't like bananas.
Right.
There's no right or wrong.
Like honoring that other human's choice
Absolutely.
to whatever,
Yes. It's all learning to honor every single being. That's what brings people to this new earth. And again, this new earth is simply a state of mind and a state of being. It's not another place. We'll reiterate that a few times.
Yes, thank you for that.
Just so people can be reminded.
Yeah.
So when you can honor another's choice, for example, right now in a whole political arena that's going on, there's so much fighting and so much battling of the egos and the minds. When everybody can just put down their ego and honor another person's choice and go, okay, that's what you choose. It's not right for me, but it might be right for you. Fine enough. That might feel good for them, just like bananas feel good for them, but they don't for you, or vice versa.
Right.
So the more you can honor yourself and honor another, the quicker you will transition to the state of being and the state of mind of this new earth where everything is luminescent, everything is beautiful and free and light. Because you become light when you can honor the light in another.
Right.
That is the key in learning to honor another, is you honor the light in them. It's very much like the words namaste. The light in me honors the light in you. The light in me sees the light in you. The light in me respects the light in you. So there's no judging in the new earth. There's no criticism. There's no I'm better, you're better. There's only we. Because really we all know that's all there is.
Yeah.
There's we in the oneness.
Right.
We are all connected.
There's a sense of like individualization, like the I, like does that sort of, because if we all understand on a different level that we're all connected, do we still, I don't know how I'm asking this, but like the concept of I, like I need this, I need to do this, like.
There is still that, but there is an underlying always of an understanding of how you affect the all.
Right, okay.
So everything you do is not only an honoring of yourself, but an honoring of the entire universe. And that's the key too. You start to become aware that you are just, and we don't say just as in it's in insignificant way, but you are one piece, an entire vast universe. So once you're in New Earth, you understand too that there is a much larger perspective than just Earth, just humanity. You become connected with the all of the entirety of everything out there. Because everything that is out there is everything that's in you. You become aware that you truly are the universe, and the universe is you. Everything is inside of you, and you are inside of everything. So you still are an individual. You still recognize yourself individually, and that's why you still have a body, per se. And you can make your own decisions and make your own choices. But you become much more aware of how every decision you make affects the whole. It affects your neighbor. It affects the plant that you may own or the tree that's in your yard. So, for example, you're not going to be in a bad mood and yell and scream because you know the energy that you're vibing out is going to affect everything around you. That plant or that tree that's growing in your yard is now going to be tainted with some darkness. And though it knows how to shake it off, you still know that you don't want to put that on there. So everything you do, everything you feel, everything you think, everything you do in your existence is not just for you, because you know that you is everything else. You know that you are the same person that's walking down the street. You're the same person that's your next door neighbor. You are you and you are everybody else.
Yes. Wow.
And in that new existence, you don't know that just conceptually, as we said before. You know that from physical experience because of how you feel when you touch something else. Or when you think of your friend that might live many miles and miles away, you can know instantly that your friend is happy or sad or experiencing something because you're connected to them. And the minute you tune into them, you can feel them. You already have that experience now, but it's going to become larger and more noticeable, and you'll be much more aware of it. And much more consciously able to use those gifts on an easier, more manageable level. Right now, they sort of are, they feel fluke to some people. But when you're in the new realm, you'll know that you have the ability to simply tap into somebody just by thinking of them, just by connecting with their energy. So you will recognize yourself as a self, but you will know that your self is connected to every other self. to make one large being, which is the entire universe.
Wow, that is phenomenal. I'm so excited to start. I feel like on some levels I experience this comes in and out.
Most definitely, yes.
I noticed, like, I read this book once, and it talked about when you start to notice the beauty in things, in nature, and in just a simple flower. When you start to notice the beauty in it, that's when you know you're kind of, I don't know, stepping into that.
Yes, most definitely. Because you recognize the I am presence of that being.
Yeah.
And when you recognize the I am presence of something else, you remember that you are connected to that because you remember your own I am presence. So it's connecting with another, and what a beautiful way to connect with any other is to recognize its beauty, to look at it deeply. For example, to look at a butterfly and pay attention to everything, not just the pretty wings that everybody loves, but the tentacles, or the little feet, or the little middle part, every aspect of that being. And you can embrace the beauty of all of it.
Yeah.
Even when you can embrace the beauty in something you don't feel is beautiful. For some, that might be a spider.
Right.
And you look at a spider, but you can appreciate how significant every little fur on their body is, every tiny little foot and leg, and the significance of how far they have to travel to get where they're going, or the beauty of their web and the gift they have to create that. So yes, you're very right. When you can really connect with nature especially, and see the beauty in everything, that is when you can definitely feel more connected to yourself, and thus feel more connected to the entire universe.
Well, that is very exciting. Very beautiful.